you should never say to someone who has gone or is going through a miscarriage. But all of these were said to me. All of them. I had the misfortune of having a really crappy boss, and my boss announced to the entire work team why I wasn't going to be there that day. You should just be grateful that it happened now and not later on during the pregnancy. It gets harder the farther you go. You should be grateful. The baby probably would have been handicapped anyways. Things will be so much easier for you this way. You should just be grateful you've only had 3 so far. My aunt had 10. It's not a competition. You should not be comparing numbers or telling them how much worse other people have had it. You are so lucky that you already know what labor contractions feel like. When I gave birth to my firstborn, I didn't even know what to expect. And since you've already been through them, now you'll know what's coming. Well, at least you know you're fertile. You should be grateful. Well, on the bright side, since it happened before you hit the 12-week mark, your baby probably didn't have a soul anyways, so it's not like you actually lost a child. 100% of those were things that people actually told me personally. And when I shared this video on my French YouTube channel to kind of just say like, hey, these are all shitty things to say and you probably shouldn't say them, I had an enormous amount of comments from people being like, oh, I've said things like that to people before. Or people that had also been through miscarriages that had heard every single one of the things I just listed. Every single one. And people say this and they remind you how grateful you should be because they're uncomfortable with your sadness. Also, don't tell people if someone's had a miscarriage unless they've asked you to announce it. I had to tell my boss that I needed to take the day off because I needed surgery, and she needed to know why because we were already understaffed, her fault. And she announced my medical personal business with the entire team. It was super embarrassing. Everyone wanted to talk about it the next day, and I was grieving. It sucked so bad. Do not be that boss, and do not be that person that tells someone that they should be grateful that they had a miscarriage when they did or under the circumstances they did,